And now for our feature presentation.
This is great because on the back it actually says this film is also known as
the I'll Watch It Later podcast.
You ever heard of that film?
And now, on with the show.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to I'll Watch It Later podcast where we lie about the movies we've seen to impress our friends. As always, I am Aaron, joined by my best friend, co-host Jordan.
Stinky. Hi, everybody. The stinky one.
Jordan,
Lightyear.
Jordan smells. And then Scott's here.
Yeah, he was talking about me.
All right, guys.
What's that buzzing?
Yeah, there's a ton of buzzing. Hey, produce something. Hey, when we're talking about Transformers, can you put Autobots roll out in the fucking...
No. I'm going to put fucking...
Autobots roll out!
I'm going to put roll out by fucking Ludacris.
That's fine. But you know what the funny thing is? Is he won't even do that.
I won't do it.
So.
No.
Here, give me some silence so I can put it in. Ready?
Dead silent. Just nothing but silence.
I'm going to send a messages like, this is what makes the show unlistenable. I quit.
I quit.
We get fucking death threats.
By who?
You.
Oh, yeah, that's right. All right. So,
yeah. No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
If you're new, if this is your first time joining us, we are a podcast that talks about movies.
That's it.
We're best friends. We talk about movies. We like to shuck and jive and joke and be jovial and fun. And all you new people that are just here, like the lady we met last night at Majestic. Hi.
Oh, yeah. Hey.
Oh, did you get another one?
We
We
did.
One, just raising that download one at a time.
And the thing
Hey,
is,
whatever.
this wasn't one of those like, oh yeah, I'll take a listen kind of moments. Like she made him like find it on her phone and hit subscribe. Like it
Damn
was a
right.
whole thing.
So she's a
He's like,
subscriber
here, let
now.
me set this up so it'll download every episode for you.
And us like assholes didn't get her name.
Yeah.
She's
No idea.
faceless to us. We're stupid.
So if you are the lady at the Majestic, I'm sure we'll see you again. Thank
see
you
you
so
Thursday.
much for listening. As always, go to iTunes and rate us 1 through 5. Leave a comment, query. You can ask us a question on there. I don't care.
It's true. You
You could do whatever. Just put something on the
I don't know.
iTunes.
Apparently, your brother's been leaving 900 emails.
Oh, yeah. Did you open that?
not in mine.
Oh.
Oh,
Not
that was a
mine.
joke. He thought he was funny.
Oh.
He's been sending it to watch it later pod at gmail.com.
Isn't that
It's
the...
buried under all the Papa John's.
It's like watch later pod.
I wonder if my
Nobody's
email's
getting
correct.
emails.
If you want to email the show, you can email us at...
I'll watch it later podcast at gmail.com.
That's I'll watch it later podcast at gmail.com. No purchase necessary.
Or go to Watch
Restrictions
Later Pod on Instagram. Send us a
Yeah,
message,
send
a
us a
DM,
Tell us
some
how
nudie
sexy
pics. I don't
we
care
are.
what you do.
Ooh.
I mean, if you send us some
Not you
nudie
ladies.
pics,
That's
We'll
gross.
just-
we
we'll-
want some
We'll just get a bunch of dick pics.
We want dick pics.
at this point, I'll take it. Just so I know someone's out there listening. Ah,
Right.
You're listening? That's a nice
Hey,
penis.
I'll just say right now, if you send a dick pic,
We'll read
In
it
the-
on the air.
in the subject line, you need to put Aaron's name.
3.5.
Yeah, so we know that it goes directly
so
to
in
him.
inches it is.
Right.
3.5.
3.5.
Remember when we got that new
And then
listener
ask him,
last night?
and then ask
now
him to
she's
put on
gonna-
cowboy clothes.
She's going to stop listening. She's going to be like, this is raunchy.
Yeah.
I don't, these guys
Well, we had her. She's gone. Just like that.
Just like that, right in the first.
Oh, no, but
3
honestly,
minutes.
seriously, if you guys would please go and do that or send us a nice message. We're going to talk about Jordan's movie today, and then we are going to get Scott's, and then it's another snack show. And guys, let me tell you, it's the most average snack show of all time.
Well, we got some stuff.
We got some good stuff
It's
coming
going to
up
be
for you.
the campfire show where
This
we're
is
just going to sit around and eat chili and fart.
This is a tease. Yeah.
And then we'll put the hot sauce in the chili.
And it's going to be really good since I've left it in my van for like 3 days.
Are you
It's already
serious?
Pre-cooked chili.
Oh my God! Can that spoil?
Nah, it's a
It's
can.
in a can.
It's at 115 degrees in your
Yeah,
van for
just
3
pretend
days.
it was a bunker.
Like if you cook.
Yeah, but how do you think they ship these things? They're not in a refrigerated
Yeah,
truck.
they're
No,
just
but they're in
hot-ass
shaded
diesel
and,
trucks.
and
Well,
my
you put it on
van's-
his dashboard.
Yeah,
It's
my
probably
van's
rolled
shaded.
under his driver's seat.
listen,
Yeah.
if you put chili on the stove on low or at 115 degrees, it would eventually cook,
I agree.
and then it dies down, and then you reheat
It
it,
dies, just like the snack show.
just like the
When
snack.
we eat
Just
it.
like our listeners.
I'll be looking forward to the what's that called?
Salmonella?
Food poisoning.
Food
yeah.
poisoning?
It's a can. As long as that
Oh,
can
it's in a
doesn't
can.
expand, we're good.
He probably expanded it.
Where did you end up finding it? Because I
Walmart.
still can't find it.
Yeah,
It's at Walmart.
not down here.
And you cannot. It's the only Walmart that I've seen it in.
If you show up there and you see another one, grab me like another one. I'm going to send it out.
I will.
No, of course.
I will be in there
What do
next
you mean,
week.
of course?
What
This
are
man
the-
sends boxes
I
of
know.
chips for us, and you're like, fuck that guy.
I'm like, of course.
Of
I
course
was-
you're going to have to send it to him.
Now,
What's he gonna
now,
send
I know
us?
That, I know that you guys congratulated me for contributing. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I just
glad
want
you-
to extend that.
glad you saw that.
Extend that olive branch for you guys. But this is not cheap. It looks like almost $5 a can
Well, yeah.
for shitty chili that I know is going to be shitty.
Right.
And
I like the chili
That's the
from
fun
Wendy's.
of it, though. Like, spending way too much money on stuff we're going to hate.
Yeah, I could never get you to spend $60 on foreign snacks.
Oh no,
but
it was just not going to happen.
I can get you to spend $5 on a shitty can of chili.
Yeah.
So
I do.
It's a fair off trade.
I do my best.
I am adequate, and
Yeah.
I show up.
Yeah.
So
I get by.
What's
Get-
that buzzing? I was kidding.
all right, all you have to do is get through these next 2 episodes. Next week is going to be
You act like you have to suffer.
No,
really,
I'm-
just roll that boulder up, guys. You'll get there
I don't know.
eventually.
I'm going to be pretty excited for next week's.
Why?
Yeah. I called an audible, and I didn't tell Jordan yet.
Oh, okay.
That's all right. I probably won't watch the right movie.
Fuck
No
you.
big deal.
We'll get to that.
Yes, we will.
All right. So, Scott, did you watch anything this week?
No,
Shocker.
we're on a short week.
It's one day. Did you pack all your movie
Hey.
watching into Fridays?
He's like, usually on Friday I sit down and watch 4 or 5 movies.
So
and we just didn't do it this week.
for sake of the continuity of the show and me being very informed when I hit the microphone, because that's what people come to hear.
Continuity?
It is,
What
yeah,
continuity?
because
The shows are in
stay
order.
The same,
That's all the continuity we need.
Jesus Christ, I have to
Yes,
stay with the
you
same.
called.
I have to stay with the same, like just the same vibe, man.
Yeah.
I watch
Watch
the
the thing,
movies.
no.
I watch the movies at the last minute because I want to like. Okay, so I push them off, but it's better to watch with last minute because then I remember more.
We literally had this conversation last night after we left our movie, and I was like, I like the snack show because then kind of we get like a 2-week break to kind of
Yes.
really watch the movie that Aaron picked. But I guarantee you, I'm watching it the Friday before we record.
Correct.
And I had 2 weeks to watch it, so I do the same thing, even with a big gap.
Sometimes I'll sit down on like a Wednesday and watch it. Like if I have no.
Yeah, but see, it's still pretty close.
There's a few that have been like that I've kind of been excited to watch,
yeah.
and I'll watch them early, and then there's the other ones that I'm like, I gotta watch this fucking movie, man.
That's how I felt about this movie. When I found out that I had to watch another movie today, after I had already powered through the first one, I was like,
And I can't wait because we're
Oh,
going to get into the
God.
details of that conversation because it's fucking hilarious. When he told me this, I was laughing at my desk at work today. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Like, this is a ridiculous happenstance.
But
This
it's-
happened once before,
it's
right?
so
Like, he
Aaron
watched
though. So Aaron.
it's kind of
can
hilarious.
we talk about crappy Transformers and stuff before we?
Yeah. We'll do,
So
this
Roll
week,
out.
I watched...
roll out. Roll out.
Just put that in there.
See, I'm doing it now,
No,
so I don't have
that's
to fuck
not even
with,
the
so I
right-
don't have to fuck with it
It's
later. Is that what it is?
It's
No.
not even right that way either.
No, it wasn't. Yours was.
boom, boom, boom.
That's really wrong. Anyways, what'd you watch, Jordan?
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun. See, I'm white, and I still
dun,
do it.
dun.
I'm
Anyway.
sorry, I'm not
Dun,
a
dun,
connoisseur
dun,
of 2000
dun.
shitty rap music.
Well,
you should
no,
be.
it's Chris Bridges, Ludacris, star of Fast X, now streaming on any video on demand.
And at your local drive-in.
And soap.
Well, if it was us in for Fast 9, we'd be out of business. 'Cause this is crazy.
Right? No, I watched the last of Ted Lasso, so I caught up on that, finished that up. And then for some reason, I heard news that they were filming a new Ocean's movie with Margot Robbie. Like it's a prequel set in the 60s. I'm like, ugh. And then I was like, well, I'm going to watch the first
It's
one.
going to be an all-woman's one, too.
Of course.
Oh.
This is just going to be
Okay.
Barbie in the 60s.
It's
So
time for her to go. She does that thing.
I'm
that
a little
they-
over it.
I was going to say, she does that thing that 90s and 2000 stars did where they came in hardcore and they were in everything, and then you're like, you get tired of
Do you
seeing them.
blame her, though?
No, not at
Dude,
all.
take advantage.
Get in, get out.
I mean, if somebody came to me and they're like, "Hey, we want you in a movie," I'd be like, "Okay." And then somebody else came and they're like, "I want you in a movie," and I'd be like, "I need to capitalize
Well, the
on this
problem
now."
is, for me
disagree.
with her, is Wolf of Wall Street was a singular, standalone type of thing. Everything else has been franchise shit.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of tired of seeing her in a franchise movie. Like
She was in that movie Focus with Will Smith.
who saw that one?
Who I did in the theater.
You'd be the one.
It's pretty good.
But like, see, she just is one of those. Like, looks like Florence Pugh. At least yes, she did the Marvel shit, but she has branched out. She does A24. She does all these things. She did the Zach Braff movie. She does all this stuff. She's versatile. Like Margot Robbie, she's good, but she's franchise good.
Zach Braff movie.
Yeah, that one where I guess like she got in a car accident and the chick
Oh,
dies.
yeah.
It was like
yeah,
just
yeah.
recently. Like
Her
I've been
birthday's
wanting
the
to watch
same
it.
as mine. Yeah, I did watch it.
Yeah, so
August 24th.
and then we went and saw our movie last night.
Right. Well, Ted Lasso sucks, I heard, the last season.
It's okay. I think it ended well. I think they could branch off and do another series with everybody else without him. There were moments where I feel like some of the characters got redemption arcs that they didn't deserve, and I feel like it was too quick. But I mean, overall, I liked the show. It was a good show.
I watched like the first 2 episodes on a plane because they were free. And they're like,
Yeah.
"You can watch the first 2. That's it." So
all
when
you
we were
get.
flying out, I watched like the first 2, and then I've never gone back to finish.
Well, it's
it.
funny because it's not even the first 2. They just like give you random episodes. So you're like, why is he with her now? What the fuck's going on?
It was like when I watched Cobra Kai, and I accidentally watched the last episode first.
You were like,
Oh,
what's
shit.
going on?
I was like, "Whoa, this is one of those things where like they show you what happens, and then they go back, and then they tell you the whole story. This is great."
That's funny.
Why are they all fighting in a school? Wait a minute. Why are there so many brawls with these children and no one's getting arrested?
I started to watch that Flamin' Hot movie. I'm
yeah.
5 minutes in. So far, I don't hate it, but I have a huge problem with it because in the first 5 minutes, this kid's eating. So the whole point of the movie, I guess, even when Gloria hates white people, whatever, that's fine. Because the first 5 minutes of the movie, this kid whips out a burrito at school, and this fat, pudgy kid that kind of looks like me walks up and is like, "Gross! No one would eat that," and knocks it out of his hand. And I'm like, that is a lie. That fat kid would eat the shit out of that fucking
No,
burrito.
because the fat kid's just an asshole.
I just don't know why. What's the hate against a burrito, man?
Yeah, you as an adult, you're like, "Well, I'd eat that. That's a perfectly good burrito."
Right.
But as a kid, and I know that probably as like you thinking, "Oh, this is me as a child," you would walk up and smack this fucking burrito out of this kid's
No,
hand.
I wouldn't.
He would.
I
wouldn't.
I was no. I'm an asshole now. I was an absolute nerd, like loser as a kid. I would have been like somebody would have knocked the burrito of his, and I would have been like, "Here's my lunch. Like, you just want to be my friend?"
Well, here's my thing. Like
Thank you,
through high
sir.
school,
May I have another?
as much as I'm not a fan of Taco Bell now, I ate my weight in fucking bean and cheese burritos at high school. during
Taco
all that
Bell's
shit.
delicious.
Anyway.
Did they serve bean and cheese burritos at your cafeteria as well?
Yeah, so I went to
Okay.
Highland and we
Everyone.
had a Chick-fil-A.
Yes, so
and
did
we
we.
had Taco
Hamilton.
Bell.
We just had the burritos.
And then we had the standard fucking hairnet lunch lady
Yep.
lunch, and no one was getting
Dude,
any of
I-
that
everyone-
shit.
your sloppy joes,
That's why
a little
when-
extra
Sloppy.
sloppy.
That's why
Joes.
when Chick-fil-A became so big, I was like, I had this in high school.
Right, like I just always it was the standard sandwich with the 2 pickles, and you're just
Yeah.
like, this
Which is
fucking
crazy about
fantastic.
Chick-fil-A because Chick-fil-A, if you remember right, when Superstitious Springs Mall opened, there was a
Oh,
Chick-fil-A
yeah.
in Superstitious Springs when it opened up,
Yes.
and I don't remember eating there ever. And now all of a sudden it's like,
Yeah, so they had it in our
Everybody eats there.
cafeteria.
They just played the waiting game.
yeah.
Yeah.
I remember the cow cutouts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
eat more chicken.
Eat more chicken.
Yeah, I remember that. I know what side it is too. It's
But-
like on the
Yep.
when you walk in
It's
with a
still
carousel,
there.
it's right on the right side. Yeah,
I would
I used to have
never.
a hot dog
I,
with a stick there too, and I miss it.
yeah, I would never go to Chick-fil-A for lunch in high school. I would always go there for their breakfast because they had the breakfast
Chicken
bagel
biscuit?
and the chicken biscuit. And then for lunch, I would go to either the Taco Bell or get the standard like school lunch because I always thought it was better than just getting a stupid chicken sandwich.
We had open campus for probably the first
Oh,
year
must
and
be
a half,
nice.
2 years of my high school, and then a friend of mine, they got in a car accident during
course.
lunch,
Ruined
and he
everything.
died, and they ended up shutting down the school.
You're like,
So-
Ruiner.
So that's why
Thanks
we
for
got
ruining
the-
it, everybody.
Everyone's peeing on
and
this
well, that's why
grave
we
and
got the
shit.
Chick-fil-A in the cafeteria and the bean and cheese burritos from Taco Bell. Like
Oh.
it was very
we
limited.
only had the
menu, but-
burritos, man. And I was like, wow, this is
Bro.
legit.
And it was still like the 50-cent burritos instead of $2.50 for the bean and cheese. But like, yeah, you can just eat your weight in fucking Taco Bell burritos.
I went to Hamilton for the first 3 years, and then I went to Tolleson for a year, and they let you leave campus, and I would go to Subway every day. and that was when Subway was good.
Yeah.
I guess because I liked it back then. So it was right next to this wholesome bakery, and they would sell bread, but they would sell all their like pastries for like $0.25.
Yeah.
Because they were day old.
That day old.
So
shit.
we would just stack.
I used to
up,
do that at like Einstein Bagel and get the day old bagels.
and they had
I'm
the
like, yes.
best orange juice. And now I'm 40, and I don't know where time went. Time is nothing. It means nothing. To
He was texting me today. He's like, dude,
It's been
I went to
a year.
Austin a year ago today.
A year ago today.
What
I
is
was in
time?
Austin.
I'm like, shit. That feels like yesterday when
It
you
feels
shoplifted.
like just a couple months ago.
Right.
I didn't mean to shoplift.
I'm just kidding.
Anyways, so Jordan and I went and saw Transformers: Rise of the Beast last night.
Did.
And if you'd like to know if you should go see it, you absolutely should not. It is a steaming pile of shit. It is everything that I thought it was going to be and more. It is horrible. They once again, I don't know who's in these pitch meetings or what the director is thinking or anything. And they're in these pitch meetings and they're like, we care about these humans. And then, no, you don't.
They really try to focus on the human element of every one of these movies.
On giant robots fighting each other.
Can we just come to the full circle conclusion right now that Transformers is just the handicapped little brother of Fast and Furious?
I mean, I felt like
at
Dominic
some
Toretto was going to show up and start driving Bumblebee.
Oh,
Family. Yeah.
all are one.
All
Till
are one.
all are one.
Yes.
Get out of the way, gorilla.
There was a giant gorilla. The Maximals were awesome. And then
Dude.
the end.
But here's the problem. Every scene you see in the trailer,
Is it?
every scene that you've seen in the commercials, that's it. You don't get much more of the Maximals.
And I'm not even going to try and lie. I fell asleep like 8 times.
I don't blame you.
I fell asleep. And like the whole part,
The first hour and a half is boring, and it's a 2-hour movie.
there it's two
Jeez.
2.5 hours.
Was it? Oh, my
Yeah.
God.
Dude, there's a part in this movie that's so bad. So, if you're still like, well, I don't know, you guys are just shitting all over, you haven't really told me anything. The idea is that in 1994, the Maximals came
Wait,
here
was
with-
it the 90s? Because they didn't tell us every 3 seconds was some kind of reference and some
or
kind of
musical.
like musical thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, look, she's just humming fucking TLC's Waterfalls. It must be a brand new song in 1994. Oh, it was so fucking annoying.
Oh, dude, it was. He's not wrong because it's like
Because
all
we
like
kept doing it too. It was like, wait, is this the 90s?
it's all early hip hop.
My
and-
nickname is Sonic. I'm
Yeah.
Tails.
Yeah,
You have sickle cell.
there's this key that's been split in half, and the things are on the other side of the world, and they have to go to Peru, and then it's all plot armor. Like, we have to do this, and it's like, oh, how convenient, and then like. The main guy from Hamilton tries to steal a car, and it winds up being Pete Davidson. And let me tell you something: I am the biggest fan of Pete Davidson.
We love him.
I'm a fucking apologist. I watched every episode of Bupkis. I love him, and I even liked him in his cameo in Fast and Furious.
That was funny.
He is the most annoying motherfucking character in this film. They gave him the cringiest of cringe lines,
Right.
And
Danger.
Like I was
He
feeling,
pisses himself at one point.
yeah, dude, and
I'm
then
Mirage, bro.
yeah, oh my
Yo,
god,
fist bump. We boys. We boys. And I'm
See, I
just
feel like Pete Davis is just one of these guys where he's one step from being Margot Robbie. He just makes some better choices.
except he has butthole eyes.
Yeah, he just makes a better choice. He's just actually been in some pretty
Looks tired all
decent
the time.
movies.
Yeah, dude, like his movie, and then there's another movie on Hulu. Anytime Pete Davidson,
Dude, King of Staten Island is
It's-
fantastic.
I love that
Fantastic.
movie. I actually saw a
That's why
clip
you-
of that the other day, and I was like, shit, I need to revisit that one because I fucking
dude, it's
love
funny
that movie.
because if you should watch the show, it's only 8 episodes, and Joe Pesci's in it. At one point, the mom, like they're trying to kick the mom out of a restaurant because Pete Davidson doesn't show up because the only way she got the reservation is saying that he was going to be there, and they come and they're like, oh, it looks like Pete's not going to be here, so you got to go. And she's like, do you know who I am? I'm a star. Marissa Tomei played me in the movie. And
That's funny.
Yeah, and then there's a whole episode where he's trying to get the part in Fast and Furious. So that's why when he showed up in Fast and Furious, I was like, oh,
There he is.
fucking funny. But yeah, no, I can't get behind this franchise ever. Like I'm tired of.
Sure you can, because you went to a 9:50 movie.
It was
Or
9:30.
9:30 movie.
You got out at
You got behind it.
12:30.
You got behind it enough to drop your movie pass on it.
Yeah, movie pass.
I
don't-
got points to spare.
I
Let's
have,
go see
yeah,
this shit.
Those are the shit points from like.
Yeah, those are the leftover from last one.
No, if you want to waste 2.5 hours and be miserable. Go.
Oh,
go
and
ahead.
Optimus Prime is racist as shit.
Oh, he's the most racist character
He hates-
of all time.
He hates just people.
So wait a minute. Let's give this movie a chance.
No, wait. Hold on.
No, I'm not even
Wait a
You
kidding.
didn't tell me that.
The lines that Optimus Prime are dropping are so like if a white person was said in a movie, it would be canceled in 5 seconds. Optimus
Is it
Prime-
the guy
All
that, isn't
are
it-
one except you.
Yeah.
Isn't the guy that does the voice a white guy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Peter Cullen.
No, he literally says like, "Your kind isn't welcome." Like we don't.
And it's the
trust
one
you.
black guy on screen. I'm like, damn.
He's like, make robots great again.
He's building a wall.
But the cool thing about Optimus is he had that old school look. He was that
He
old.
did. Yeah, he
that
definitely
was
looks cool. Go Peter Bill.
So just there's at one point he gets a fucking Iron Man suit made out of Transformers.
So this is fucking heavily spoiled. Don't.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't want to fucking listen,
Aaron, I
fast
don't
forward
give a
like
fuck.
7 minutes.
Don't waste your time.
So at one point, Pete Davidson's character goes after the main bad guy, who none of the other characters can beat. But this guy, he's like, "Oh, I'm Mirage. I'll do it." He gets his ass beat, and he's like dead. And then he wakes up just enough to give his parts to the main human character to give him literally an Iron Man suit.
It's Iron
This
Man.
man looks like fucking Iron Man. And then at one point, I really lean over to Aaron. I'm like, does anyone have a problem that he's literally wearing the skin of this other Autobot?
Dead
And it's
skin.
just fucking laughing. It's so cringy. Like,
Dude,
and
and
then
all-
this guy's supposed to take on the fucking...
Here's the meeting,
No!
though. These guys are like, hey,
Hey, did you guys
this,
see Iron Man?
this is the part where the audience goes ape shit.
Oh no, that was
This
there was
is
a
the part.
Bumblebee scene where that actually wasn't too terrible. I kind of liked it. He
Yeah,
jumps
'cause
out
he's
of
a badass.
Yeah, because he jumped out of a plane and he starts shooting everything. Bumblebee's dead throughout the entire
Yeah,
film.
they kill Bumblebee.
and then they fucking bring him back for like the last 5 minutes.
But
and
see, and here's the problem.
he has a really cool entrance.
Killing Bumblebee was pointless.
It was.
Because it's a prequel. We know where this is going. He's alive. You know why I know it's connected? Because they still do the stupid Bumblebee can't talk bit that
But it's
Michael
all-
Bay thought would be funny.
it's
and
all
then they had
movie
they
lines.
kept it all, and it's so fucking bad.
Well, now he's synonymous for that.
I don't care.
That's why they do that.
It's dumb.
Like everything is synonymous. Like they're like Bumblebee can't talk, and you're like, well, he
Why?
can, but
Why?
well, they're
That's
like,
dumb.
put in the movie, and it's like, wait,
No way.
Okay.
Who cares? He said shit in the cartoon when I was a kid, and it blew my mind. It was the first cartoon I ever heard cuss. Make Bumblebee talk again, and then build that wall.
Let's
I'm
make
Optimus Prime.
Let's make red hats. Let's say make
Optimus
Bumblebee
Prime.
talk again.
He transforms into his robot self. He's got a little red cap on. We don't want your kind.
He really says that.
Yeah, he's.
I couldn't believe it. I was
pretty
like,
bad.
what is going on here? He says it multiple times. He's
Well,
like, we hate humans.
and
Your species is
Their whole
inferior
idea
to us. I'm
they're-
like,
they're so bad.
what the fuck?
You know what's crazy though? If you saw this movie 20 years ago, you wouldn't have batted an eyelash to this.
I know.
But we're so damn like
Sensitized.
desensitized or sensitive of all this
Yeah.
fucking racial shit that we're
It's
like.
not even that though. I
Oh
just
my
think.
God.
Give me a plot that actually makes sense. Like they just think
Yeah.
that they can throw shit out there and just
And-
be like, "Oh, neat, they transform." But no, we've seen it, so now you have to give me substance to go with that because
Right.
otherwise it's just the same recycled bullshit. Like none of this felt new.
Again,
None of the characters I
cash
identify
cows.
with.
They're like,
There's
hey,
a fucking Mexican VW bus that was Wheeljack. Wheeljack's not a VW bus. Like
And
they ruined Wheeljack.
They
for me.
even go as far as to with that. I don't even know how to
He's
explain.
got
it.
a Spanish.
He has a
accent.
Spanish accent, and the guy goes, "Oh, where are you from?" And he's like, "Cybertron." He's like, "Well, why do you have that accent?" And he's like, "I don't
What
know."
accent? What, that's
Yeah.
racist, bro. And
Yeah.
they're like, you just called the Mexican dude who listening to you with your accent racist. Like this movie is trying too hard to be funny, and it's not funny. They've killed 15 cops at the beginning.
They did for no
Oh,
reason.
for no
because
reason.
Mirage thought it would be hilarious. I don't care about all that, but
he's all, hey,
Fuck cops,
cab.
right?
no, I don't care. I don't give two shit about.
Right.
No, it's not even that. It's just like make sense, and it just did not
Well,
want to say.
and-
The plot is so it's so thin
So
that I could fucking cut it.
they are depending on the audience to pay attention to the one plot point of that key is time and space.
Right.
So Optimus Primal is named after the war hero Optimus Prime.
Right.
But Optimus Primal was on Earth before Optimus Prime.
Right.
So you have to put it together that they went away from Unicron to travel into the past
Yes.
and got stuck there.
I understood that.
Not once did they fucking explain that to anybody. And I'm sorry, anyone watching this, they're stupid. You
Yes.
have to explain that shit.
And-
how are they going to be like, well, how are you named after him if he's here and you're there? What the fuck? No. Also, there's a giant planet eating planets.
Unicron, and he's cool.
He looked cool
He
for the
did
3
look-
seconds he was on screen.
I know they did the Galactus crap.
They're like, hey, we're gonna go.
Where they
All
did-
right, we'll send this guy for 2 hours.
Final Fantasy.
I'm at the end, just
Final
kidding. Close the
Fantasy.
fucking
Fantastic
sky
Four.
anus.
Fantastic Four, where they teased Galactus, and it was just a bunch of fucking whirly fingers.
You're like, you guys like this movie? Guess what? We're gonna keep churning them out because you're gonna keep watching them.
I don't know how it did. I don't think it's done very well.
I don't know.
It's not-
It'll do enough for them to make another shit ass Transformer
These
movie.
Transformer movies do well overseas. Like they
Do
have
they really?
huge Why do you think we have so many?
Here's my problem then.
Like the last ones with Mark Wahlberg were all
Say
filmed like
Say
they were
it.
backed by like
Say it.
you people.
Say it.
Overseas,
Say it. Do it.
as the Asian
There
community,
it is. Say it.
they create such wonderful storylines with anime.
Don't hold back,
And
bro.
no, I'm not. And movies
Say it,
like
say
the Korean movies we've watched, and the all the kung fu stuff we've seen. But then they jerk off to Fast and the Furious and fucking Transformers, and I just don't
Because
get
all
it.
they get is these foreign Asian movies that are really good. They need that. They need the escape.
They need the
We
popcorn
get that
movies.
every fucking month.
Shit, everyone.
They're like, hey, we got another Fast and Furious movie. There's another Transformers movie. And then
We're getting the Flash this week. Like there's just so much shit.
God, I don't know if this is good, but it's on pace to hit 155 million this weekend.
That's sad because they're telling us if that's the pace that they're doing, is that international? Like it
No, that's
is it worldwide or just domestic?
Take
Transformers:
that,
Rise of the
Little
Beast
Mermaid.
looks to roar with 155
Because she's
million
a fish, right?
worldwide, but could get sideswiped by Spidey in the U.S. So yeah, it's the U.S. is what's keeping it from all
Yeah.
its glory because Spider-Man's so fucking good that people are going to go
Do
see
you hear
that.
there was a bad sound mix on that they're re-releasing it because
That makes me want to go see it.
I kinda wanna go see
Look
it
at
again.
my movie, isn't it neat?
What is that?
All you assholes will fill up the seats.
Please do more.
We can put anything on screen and you'll watch it every time.
This is pretty good. You're making
Right?
this up off your...
Dude, I'm riffing right
Hey,
now.
could you give us some
He's just crossing
some
off
Macho
lines.
Man? What would Macho Man say about the Transformers movie?
He'd be like, let me tell you, this movie is just a bunch of fucking bullshit.
What about
it's
the
hard
op-
to do it on cue.
No, tell him to say tell him to say Optimus Prime is I don't know. Just tell him to say Optimus Prime.
Optimus Prime, I'm coming for you.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. So yeah,
Roll out.
I gave the movie
Roll
a
out.
letterbox a 1.
That's about right.
I just
It's pretty
I was mad
generous.
about it. Like I was
Yeah.
just like sitting there thinking about
the
it more
fact
today,
that
and I'm like,
17-year-old to 22-year-old got up and was like, that was a great movie. It's the reason we continue to get these movies. Not because of me and Jordan. Me and Jordan are not the reason because we're never going to go see it again. We're never going to watch it again.
Lies.
no.
But the person that guy who says that's a great movie is going to tell all his friends, oh, he went and saw Transformers last
Dude, it
night.
was awesome. You should go see it. I'll go see it again.
Yeah.
I
I'll pay for
missed
you.
so much of it. There
And
was
here,
so much.
and
to
here
miss.
comes the next Transformers movie. And he's like, I'm not going to see this again.
And just like
Hey,
Mirage,
there's a
there'll be bunch
9:30
of them.
showing.
Right.
I guess I'll go fucking see it.
No, I'll
I know
see
I'm
it.
going to be
Bro,
disappointed.
because I'm going to see it and then tell you how much it sucks. They go and see it and then tell all their friends how great it is and then be like, there's a Latin guy in it and he's like me.
Here's my
'Cause that's
biggest
how it works.
my biggest issue, and maybe it was just me. So Pete Davidson's character, he can turn into a Lamborghini, he can turn a Porsche. Most of those cars are roughly around the same size.
Yeah.
In one scene, he turned into a giant garbage truck, and I'm like, how much more metal does this dude have? Like, I just don't understand the
Well, I think
complexities of a transformer.
Once again, it was
So
it
much
was
metal.
explained
So much metal.
in one of the other Michael Bay Transformers movies is they can scan
I understand.
and turn into a different vehicle. So most likely he just scanned a garbage truck and turned into a garbage truck. Because that's what happens at Bumblebee is he's that shitty ass that whatever, and then he scans it and becomes.
Doesn't make it good.
I agree.
That's so
I agree.
But yeah, it kind of bummed me out that they just really underutilized the Maximals. Like, I thought that would be such a cool story.
They do transform, and they are cool, and they have my boy Cheetor in there. But
How would you know?
right,
They're just giving you the
Did he have, like,
they're
a
giving
weird
you the
accent?
snippets to keep you coming back because they gave you the dinosaurs in the one, and now they're going to give you the fucking the other shit, and they're going to come up with whatever else. Dude, I can't even
Dinobots.
remember, dude. Like what it was, what else is there? But they're gonna whatever the next big thing was, they're gonna put that in the next movie.
Oh no, they're not. No, they're not. Because
G.I.
guess what?
Joe,
Guess what? Like we
brother.
talked about last week, G.I. Joe's coming in the worst possible scene ever. Dude's going in for a job interview at a fucking fish packing plant.
Who would know?
Talking to the manager. The manager's like, well, why is your resume thin? He's like, well, I was overseas, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, in Peru? And he's like, what are you talking about? He's like with your boys? Can we get your boys? Anyway, here's my card. We could use you. And then turns a plaque, and all of a sudden, fish packing plant turns into the biggest airplane hangar I've ever seen. And the guy flips it over, and it says G.I. Joe. And I'm like, I want to kill somebody.
Yeah.
This is the worst
He's
fucking thing I've ever seen.
He's like, I'm going to interview you right now. You do not see this giant hangar behind me. This is a fish packing plant, okay? Until I see your resume and I ask you a couple questions.
Can you yell Yo Joe?
This is a fucking fish packing plant, all right? That's what we're going with.
Your nickname is going to be Tunnel Rat. It's so. I was praying that you were wrong about this. Like I already hated the movie up to that point, and I'm sitting there going, God, I really hope what you had heard or what you knew was wrong.
I'm rarely wrong about these types of things.
I know because you scour the internet. You know what you need.
I just
but
read a lot about movies.
and it came on screen. I'm like,
You know
please,
Alfred
please,
Molina
please.
is in Indiana Jones?
Yeah, he's just found that out.
I was watching Raiders today, and I was like, is that Alfred Molina? I think
Didn't you
that's
go to Raiders of the Lost Ark? No,
we
the
saw
Temple of Doom.
together, and I've seen Raiders of the Lost Ark a million times. Just never put it
Who did I
together.
go to Raiders of the Lost Ark with? Because I
Your
did
other
go.
boyfriend?
Yeah, it might have been.
You have like 2 other friends that I've heard about, but I don't ever
I met
hear.
Josh. That's about it.
Do you guys ever hang out?
No,
It's just me now.
just you.
I've taken over. I'm the best friend.
You're just too much. Emotionally, I just can't handle more than just you.
It's a lot in one little package.
I'm really tired a lot.
Me
after
too.
hanging out.
God, am I tired,
Wait, you have kids?
dude? I'm not even kidding you. I have insomnia right now, and I'm come home and I'll fucking. Okay, time to go to bed, and I'll just stay, not at my phone, just at the darkness.
It's because you're used to being on your phone all that time.
No,
Your body doesn't.
I'm used to
your
being.
body
His
can't
eyeballs
check
are
out.
still trying to sort cards out in
Yeah.
Marvel
Oh,
Snap.
Jesus, I love Marvel Snap, but no, I
Dude, I fucking played that for maybe a week, and I'm like, I'm over it.
yeah. Well,
I got
that's-
into it pretty big, and then he's like, "New season's coming." I was like, "Ah." Fuck.
I get the
Lord,
season
already.
pass every month, so because it forces you to learn. Like they
Have you?
Yeah, they buff and nerf cards, so like you can't just keep playing the same.
Apparently
thing
not,
over and
because
over
you
and
keep
over.
buying the same.
I found it so repetitive and
It can,
so
for me.
easy.
It can be
because it was
it's not easy.
because the whole every time I played it, I was winning, and I was like, I'm
Maybe-
like,
well,
okay,
This guy's
his
like, I'm
level-
too good at it. Anyway, anytime you want to play.
well, yeah, I can't keep up with you. I mean, you've spent $1,500 on
No.
fucking cards,
I haven't spent any.
and
money
I'm
on
like
cards.
Sends him a
I'm just
plaque.
playing with the deck, and I'm like, I refuse to fucking buy anything.
I have not spent any
Yeah,
money
watch
on cards.
this Jubilee. Damn.
Only
Got a
thing
shitty
I've ever
card.
spent money on is tokens and variants, and I haven't spent that much money.
I literally had the just the standard deck that they give you.
And he's like, I was just so damn good.
No, it was just I just found it easy because it was actually predictable because people would do the same shit. So I was like, okay, well if I just win these ones, I'll win.
You can find patterns in the
Yeah.
way
So
people
I mean,
approach
it was like I dropped a couple games,
especially
but, I mean,
when like
the
a new
majority
season
of it.
comes and there's
Yeah.
like a new card out and everyone's gonna get it. And you're like,
yeah.
ooh, look at me, I'm gonna get MODOK out. I'm like,
This
I don't
year
care.
is Ghost Spider.
Shit, now I want to
Just,
play.
just burn the Iron
For
Man
real?
card at the
I
end
like
when
Ghost
people
She has a cool ability too. She takes your card, like say you play a card and then you play her on another, she'll take the card and like fling it to herself.
I always like those.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyways,
but yeah, no.
we're just talking
Transformers
like
sucks, man.
yeah, Transformers is the worst.
It's the fucking worst. And people are always like, well, it's the best one since the first one. And then when you revisit the first one, you're like, no, the first one sucked too.
He said that too, but I actually
Dude,
thought
I said the
first
exact
one
same
was
thing.
good.
I said because he says, well, this movie was completely fucking shitty, and I said, what did you expect? I said none of these movies have been good.
No.
I go the first one was meh. It was fine.
It was
No,
good
because it was the
see,
first one.
Here's the thing: it was good for when it came out.
Yeah,
I
like Linkin
was
Park.
excited about it. It's every fucking soundtrack. there were parts that sucked,
Done
right?
all around the world.
All around the world.
It's really funny to
We've
us.
already used that once. I can't use that title again.
I
so
love it.
we can't do that.
All around the world too.
all around the world again.
Do it in Spanish. Do all those things. Anyway, but yes, that movie sucked. Don't go see it.
Or go see your brother. He's like,
don't
but
go see it.
I liked looking at Beast Wars when I was a
Then
kid.
go watch Beast Wars. It's so much better.
Was it Beast Wars?
It was.
Yeah.
That he was looking at?
Yeah.
No, it was InfoWars.
Oh.
He's really white.
Sandy Hook is fake.
Jesus Christ.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. I was
goes
being
there.
Alex
He just goes right
Jones.
there.
No, no.
Just right for the jugular.
Man, when I put a clip online, that's the one I'm grabbing.
No, Sandy Hook was 100% real. I apologize.
The gay frogs!
That's Jewish space lasers.
Pizzagate.
That's what I'm clipping. We're just clipping all the conspiracy theories. Anyway, if
Jones
you're
is
just
good.
joining us, thank you for coming on.
The deep state.
Buy my colloidal silver.
The deep state suppresses real information so
Take
that they
my
can
pills.
control. Anyways, this is now the Alex Jones podcast. What did we watch this week, Jordan?
bad. Anyway, some of us watched
I did watch the right
documentary
movie.
2023. It's called Back to the Drive-In.
That came out this year.
It was this year.
Back to the drive-in.
Back to the Drive-In.
Hi everyone, this is Ben coming to you live. Our weather right now is actually pretty fantastic. It'll be a really nice night for driving movies.
Normally expect 200 to 300.
514, 900 cars. That's a lot of people in here.
My buddy says, hey, whatever happened to that drive-in idea? He goes, put it in your backyard.
That night, it was like an infusion in me to bring it back, to make it happen.
There was something called showmanship.
Beer garden is open. He's making white Russians.
You're not going to get that on your TV at home.
It's all a labor of love.
Yeah, we're still in the midst of this uncertainty. Day and date streaming with new movies, is that going to be a permanent thing?
Counting what we made today, $5.
Biggest problem now is having employees, people to help, barely getting by.
And then you get into what the hell's going to happen to me today.
This is our current situation.
Movies used to mean something, and people used to anticipate their release. Will it survive? I don't know.
I thought it would really be fun to spend our retirement at a drive-in. I didn't realize that we would spend our retirements on a drive-in.
I think that one of the positives is more people will go to drive-ins that maybe hadn't gone before.
I fell in love with it. This is like the best form of entertainment.
When the kids get out of the car, the smile on their face, you can't put a price on that.
It's memories that people will keep forever.
Y'all enjoy the movie.
Not
What?
to the drive-in
Not
or whatever
the
the hell.
drive-in.
At the drive-in.
Okay, so I watched
That would have
another
been fantastic
documentary.
because that was free on YouTube.
Actually, I watched it on Tubi. And it was called At the Drive-In.
So,
YouTube.
okay, so let's go back a little bit. So, I'm going to pull back the curtain a little bit. We're recording a day early. We kind of switch things up. Most of us, we do wait till the last minute to watch it.
Just so
Me
it's
and Aaron
fresh,
had the
so we
great
can talk
idea.
about
Let's record on a Friday. We'll leave our Saturday open for everything else, whatever.
Mad dash.
And so he's like, let me text Scott. Scott, agreed. We're here at, 7, 8 o'clock at night doing shit. So I'm watching this movie today. Aaron's watching the movie today, and we're kind of talking. Now, the conversation is pretty bare bones. We're not giving each other details about things. So what he's saying feels like it lines up with what I'm watching and vice versa. So then we get through it all, and we're having a conversation in chat, and he goes, dude, 5 out of 5. I don't even care. That was one of the best movies I've ever seen. I was like, fucking right. And then I tell him this heartfelt story. And,
He's like,
and then
what
he
are you
goes,
talking about?
He did. Literally, he goes, wait. I don't think I watched the right
Wait,
movie.
because you had brought up
Okay.
the Tiki.
So, okay.
Mission
so in
Tiki
my
is what it's
in
called?
my movie, it kind of shows 11 different drive-ins throughout the country, some in California, Texas, and so on, all the way up through like Maine. The one that they're showcasing in California is Mission Tiki Drive-In.
Yeah, Mission Tiki.
That's the drive-in I went to. So last week when we were driving to...
That's the one that got bought out, right?
So, yes.
Yes.
And so last week when we were going to the
Drive-in.
baseball game, we
Oh.
were talking about movies and drive-in movies because we had passed by where one used to be here in Arizona. And I told them, I remember going to the drive-in a lot when I was a kid. I saw Batman Returns. That was the drive-in I went to.
All around
and
the
I'm-
world.
All around the world. So I'm watching this movie, and I'm just like,
Sorry.
almost like tearing up. I'm like, I have so many fond memories of this exact place. And I wasn't sure, so I even texted my mom. I was like, when we lived in Upland, which is right next to Montclair where this thing was, is this the one we went to?
And she was like, don't call me again. I
She
don't
goes-
have a son.
How'd you get my number?
She goes, I thought I changed that. She goes, hold on, your brother's on the line. Mark's safe. So
This is at Shaq's. Hold on.
Baby girl.
Hey, baby girl.
You get late
We're
tonight. I can't go out too late. I have work. I'll text you at 1 a.m., though. I just can't go to an actual movie.
I just can't go to a movie with my friends. So but she goes, yeah, well, we called it the Mission Drive-In. So same place, and I'm like, that's cool. And I watched it, and eventually, and I knew this happened. I think it was like late last year or early this year, that it finally closed down after like 65 years in business. And so it was kind of emotional. It kind of sucked. So I told Aaron this, and I was like, I'll talk about this on the show. This documentary, because of that,
talking about?
because of that, made sense to me. So we're going back and forth, and I say all this, and hold on, I'm going to bring it up. I tell him the story. He goes, wait, did I watch the right documentary? What's the name of the documentary? I was like, Back to the Drive-In.
Fuck.
He goes, I watched the wrong movie. And I'm like, I don't think you quite understand how much I'm laughing currently. I was like, what the fuck did you watch? At the drive-in, I'm like, oh my God.
Because you were talking about that place, and the one that I watched was just based on one drive-in
right
in Pennsylvania. It's this huge drive-in. This guy owns it. He hires these kids. I'm just going to talk about it because I'm going to tell you right now, it is...
It's because I mentioned Quentin Tarantino.
Within 2 minutes,
Yes.
the first 2 minutes, they said Quentin Tarantino, and this guy's 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5.
That's not why.
I want to fuck this movie.
5 out of 5. Jim Rome. Fantastic.
I'm not kidding you.
This is fucking Subway. It's a $5 foot long. I love it.
It's probably my favorite documentary of all time.
You know what comes after 4? 5.
5.
It is a 5 out of 5. It's about this guy who he was in the Air Force, and he ran projection.
5 years.
And he got out of the Air Force. Are you doing Jim Rome? Shut up. Anyways,
I can do it all.
Not Macho Man.
He just starts whispering. It's weird.
Everyone says that. Why does he whisper? Anyways, so this kid is like bicycling by the drive-in, and he meets up with this old guy, and they kind of form this friendship. And then he calls his buddy, and his buddy comes, and then they start this whole thing. It's kind of like the New Bev, where
Right.
it's all 35 millimeter. They play old movies, and people go make the trek out there now, and it's a huge deal. And they only do it during
as
the
in singular.
A person came out.
there is a part where only one person comes out, but he said, but I guess it does fill up. There's
He's like, I got on a plane from Mesa,
I'm
not staying the night because I'm watching it and I'm flying back in the morning.
So these kids, they live in the little concession stand booth where they serve all the drinks and stuff,
live off popcorn
and
Red
just
Vines.
fucking
So gross.
and it's only during the summer, and it's just and then there's this
when the days are longer and you don't get as much darkness.
Yeah.
There's this one guy in it who's totally an asshole.
You sent me his picture, and I'm sitting there going, I don't remember seeing him, but I did look away, so maybe he was in my documentary. The problem, so you had, at one point, you're like, fuck, I love 35 millimeter, fuck digital, 35 millimeter is the best, and stuff like that. I had just gotten to a part in ours where that old lady that was sitting in the thing, the old lady that was sitting there talking about how she misses 35 millimeter, but going digital was, it made sense, and it was easy to mess with, and they had the little window. So that's why I thought we were watching the same fucking movie. So through this whole conversation, we were so basic in what we were saying that we could have watched the exact same movie, and I would have never known until we got to this point.
God, I should have said anything.
I almost wish that he wouldn't have
Everyone
watched the
says
movie.
Honestly,
that. Kim's
that
first
kinda would've
thing
been
after
funny.
I realized I watched the wrong movie,
Could you imagine?
She goes, don't tell him.
We're talking about everything.
She goes, just go in there and start gaslighting.
It's like, the part where they mentioned Quentin Tarantino? And I'd be like, I don't remember that. Do you remember this?
But you know what got me really worried? That because you did it, I thought he did it too.
Oh, no.
And because
he's good.
Old Chintzy Pants over here probably found it on Tubi and gave it to you. And then I thought both of you watched that same movie, and I was the outlier watching the one movie we should have watched, and I would have been the asshole that couldn't have the conversation.
For probably 4 hours today at work
The
to try
movie's
to
an hour
find
and
that
a half.
motherfucker.
I wasn't even going to try. I just went right onto Amazon Prime because I was like, because I was running out of time.
Because you would like, did you buy this movie? And I was like, yeah, I was like, yeah, I rented it. And he goes, it's on Tubi. I'm like, fuck, of course it is. And I didn't even think of going to Tubi to look. I just was like, I already paid the money. I'm just going to watch it. Again, this entire
It's
time.
also on YouTube. This is also on YouTube because
He's
when I
talking
looked
about Back at the Drive-In.
No,
Well,
but
that's
I'm
what
talking
he was
about your movie because
Yeah.
when you look up the trailer, one of the first ones that pops up is at the drive-in, and it's the full documentary on YouTube.
It's a documentary about the band.
Yeah.
Like, wait,
At
did I
the
watch
cargo bay. That's the only song I know from
I know,
that.
right?
Anyways, so
that was so funny.
Can you guys do me a favor? Can you please watch it before the next show? So we
I
can talk
started.
About
I watched it. I just didn't have time.
it? It's first off, it's quick as shit. It's an hour and 20 minutes. It made me cry.
So
There's
I
a
love
dildo.
documentaries, man.
Yeah,
I'll
me
watch it.
too.
But I don't watch them enough.
Same.
Every time I watch documentary, I'm like, why don't I watch more documentaries?
Right. That's exactly how I felt. And then I watched his documentary, and I was like, "This is just as good." It's not as good because I felt like a fucking connection to that first one.
And
maybe that's why
another
you
thing,
liked it so
Which
much.
means we won't.
because I had that connection, and
Yeah.
I didn't have the reference of the other movie. Because I said this exact same thing
Right.
to him, and I was like, let's see. I was like, you know what's great is that now you're going to compare my movie to the one, and you're going to be like, I fucking hate this movie, and then I'm just going to be sad about it.
No. I did not hate your movie at
I
all.
know,
I
I'm
loved
just-
it because it's still a documentary about movies, and that's fine.
That's why I like
But
it.
I had such an emotional and like personal connection because it literally is a drive-in that is technically
Bev.
it's the New Bev in fucking Pennsylvania. They order all their shit from like the studio. They do VHS tape nights. It's exactly the same thing, and I just fell in love with that fucking movie. I could probably watch it 100 times. If you guys want to watch it together, we can. I'm just saying that movie.
We should do is we'll set up the screen in the backyard and we'll do the projection. So we'll watch the drive-in movie like a drive-in.
Dude, we could do that.
Only
Get
if
like
we-
fucking those Power Wheels.
Anyway,
we'll all just
Only
sit
if we
in Power
make
Wheels.
like little cardboard cars to sit in.
Yeah.
Thank you
Your
for
son
letting
could come
me-
tell us that we smell, and
He tells me that every day, dude.
Anyway.
So, anyways, to your movie.
it's all right.
All right, Scott, what's your movie?
All right, Scott. So next
No,
week.
my movie, I liked it. Like it was.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
It made me sad about the state of just fucking everything.
About the state of
Well,
film.
because that's
Not
what I
even-
was.
It's not even like because it is very heavy in the COVID is what caused.
Scott
this.
was fucking having a cow. He was
No, dude. So
oh my god!
so I was expecting something completely different because it's called Back to the Drive-In.
But
But
yeah,
this
like,
whole
oh, yeah.
this whole documentary is based off the fact that people are going away from the drive-ins.
Well, and because they weren't really there, and then COVID hit, and then I don't know if you guys heard about COVID, but we all had to be away from each other for a minute. So they're like,
No,
we saw a
you
resurgence
chose
because
to be away.
I'm just kidding. I'm fine. But the movie theaters were closed and things like that. So stuff like this made sense. You could be in your cars, you could be, all the stuff. Everyone's whatever.
They had special ones out here where they literally set up a drive-in for people to go watch movies.
The farm,
Yes.
Schneff Farm. Had it, and
Welcome,
they still do it.
this is a farmhouse.
But stuff like that was cool, so it made it to where you could still enjoy that. Now, no new movies were coming out; there was very limited, so they started doing like retro nights and shit like that.
So I just want to go off on a quick tangent.
Please do.
This,
I love those.
This is why Alamo will always be the greatest. During the pandemic, there was absolutely no theaters open, but the Alamo opened. You had to pick a spot, like you couldn't sit right next to each other. You had to sit one, and they did these movie fucking like marathon things where you would not know what movie you were watching until you sat
I think
down.
I remember you telling me you
And
went to like a couple of those. And
It
they were,
was
like, random shit.
And I'm not kidding you. This isn't like hyperbole or anything. It's what made me fall in love with movies again because it was the like purest form of watching these films. Like nobody was there. Sometimes I was the only one sitting there. Like I think I went and saw Akira by myself. And it was just it was so fucking good.
Well, and again, I grew up doing a lot of those drive-in type situations.
You grew up?
Yes, I'm a real boy.
I wanna grow up. Because if I did,
I miss that too.
I'd give your movie a 3.5.
It's a shit movie. But
That's
like
exactly
it just
what
it
it
made
is,
it really it gave me that feeling of like I hated the state of, like you said, movies.
Yeah.
And it's not so much just the content of movies because there's some shit movies. We just talked about one.
Right.
There's some good movies. I love the theater experience.
Right.
But I kind of really do miss the drive-in experience.
Yeah.
And we don't have that here in Arizona anymore. We figured it
It's too
out.
hot.
There were two of them. One of them's gone. There's another one. It's literally 50 minutes. It's not worth it. And it stays fucking daylight until like 9 o'clock during the summer. When are you going to watch these movies?
9 o'clock. We know Scott and your brother aren't coming.
No.
This is the problem with drive-ins.
imagine you
This is
being
the
a
problem with
drive-in movie?
drive-ins though, because we
There's no
sit
problem
and
with
we
them.
watch this documentary, and you have the feelings.
Nostalgia,
Yes.
man.
You have the nostalgia.
I have the
You go back and you go, fuck, man, I remember going to the drive-in, and I have all the
dude. Some of those
But this
drive-ins were
is-
badass. That one with the kid
But
park
this is
in
what's
the front.
funding these drive-ins is the nostalgia. People are going away from it, and they touch on that in this movie or in this documentary because the guy says that we can't do new movies because it's going to be on digital and streaming in 2 days.
I know.
And
Yeah.
nobody's going to come to see
He's
this.
like, we tried to do this, and then we're just trying to sell your product, and you just don't want to give it to us. He
Dude,
was
I
very
felt so bad.
hillbilly.
They did the one where it was I think the Field of Dreams one, and the guy was like, "Let's count all the money I made tonight, $5," because he's like, the rest of the
all the
money's got to
rest
go to the fucking movie
goes
studio.
to the movie studios.
And I'm like, it hurts me. Like
Well,
it hurts my heart. to know
Meanwhile,
that
the other
this-
guy's playing DVDs.
Yeah. Well, he
But
wasn't
that guy-
going to. He
that
was,
guy had a great thing going though
like that
because they kind of niched it almost like
Was that the
like
Jaws
Nights.
one? Where he's
no,
like,
where
well, I
they
hope we
did
get
like
to watch Jaws
the
tonight.
where they did the Big Lebowski.
Yeah. It was
Oh,
the
yeah.
Lebowski.
So-
Hold on, can I rant a little
They
bit
have
about
a whole theme thing.
what the fuck? Hey, go to this drive-in. We have a bar.
Yeah.
That seems super dangerous. That's all I can think about the entire time that guy was talking. He's like, "Yeah, it was our cocktail bar." I'm like,
well,
Gotta make money.
Yeah.
That's how you make money.
Well, I'm sure you have to ID. I'm sure you had to have licenses for that
I mean, people
shit.
drive to the bar.
I'm just saying.
Man, like I remember my mom used to have like one of those like
Shows about your mom.
I know. Hi, Mom. You're not listening anymore. You gave up after like 3 episodes.
Did she really?
I don't know. We probably get her downloaded. She doesn't listen. She'll never hear this. I'm gonna tell her later.
Like, why is that fat one being so mean to me?
Which one?
Mama, please listen. Your baby boy really needs the listeners.
We mentioned your brother. What the fuck is he watching? My mom used to pull her truck like she had one of those like king cab like Nissan trucks, kind of like hands on a hard
Pillows,
and yeah, we used to
comforters.
put like a futon mattress back there, and you put a bunch of pillows and shit, and you just lay down and watch the fucking movie.
And
I
whoever
loved
got
it.
up last won a truck.
Yeah, exactly. But we would watch, the way the drive-ins would do it, like they would be double features.
Whoever
but
gets
then,
up last drives home. Mama's drunk.
we snuck the alcohol in. But you'd watch your first movie, and then they would play a second movie. It was always double features.
Yep.
But then they always reran the first movie again for those who came in late. So you just drive over to the next one. So you got a triple feature. Sometimes you'd be there till 2 a.m, but you got to see 3 movies. I miss that, and it's a fucking lost art now.
It's,
like it's
the thing, but
gone.
if you think about it right now, like, and especially where we are, because it's fucking hot here, it's like that model does not work anymore.
It's not
It
hot.
just doesn't work.
It's hot in this room.
no, in
Jesus
Arizona.
Christ, we
Oh,
live in
sorry.
Arizona. It's hot. Nobody wants to go sit out in the drive and sweat their asses off.
Mosquitoes everywhere.
You're like, boy, I'm enjoying this movie, and I have a puddle of sweat in my pants. It's not enjoyable anymore.
Well,
And-
not if you're doing it the outdoor, because there was also times where, you'd park your car and then you'd get out and you put your lawn chairs next
Right.
to you and you just chill and stuff like that. But, I mean, back when we were growing up, we had those big metal boxes. Like, one of them, I still had them, like, when they showed it briefly. I'm like, those are the big metal giant fucking speaker boxes with one speaker that
And you
is-
would take it and you put
you
it in your
stick it on
car.
your window
Yeah.
and you try to get it to
It's
work.
connected to a string
Pretty much.
on the screen, and then you have to hold the can up.
That's
to
the
your
only. I only think I saw one where you tuned into a certain station once. Everything else, I remember the box.
Yeah. Well, that's the technology. They kind of started doing that later on because I remember the one that was out off of Rio Salado. Every now and then, when you were on the 202, if you turned it in just right, you could hear what was
could pick it
playing
up,
for a
yeah.
minute, and you're like, "Ooh, someone's watching." Like,
Well, they have
Batman or
there's that
something.
neighborhood thing that during Christmas they all decorate the neighborhood
yeah.
thing, and you can tune into a certain radio station, and they have it playing with the Christmas music
I
to
didn't
the lights
know
and stuff.
that was a thing. Ever.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, there was one down in Gilbert.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I knew you could do it with the stuff, but I don't know how that works.
Airwaves, man.
Just go through the X.
Transistor radio.
But I mean,
I'm on a Mexican radio. We watch way too many TikToks.
right? I enjoyed it. It made me sad. It kind of sucked. Like, it's a bummer that these people are like struggling.
You
want to
see them do well,
Right.
Because
really
they're
do.
so invested in their business. And
My problem is the problem I have with every movie. I get on this microphone and I tell you, the stupid people come out in droves, like the Fast 9 thing. And I'm like, why?
And they're like,
go see the
thank God, that's what's
classics."
saving us is
Yeah.
that Fast 9 is on the screens.
Right, and it's like,
bummer.
fuck, man. Like, do you know how much I would stab you right now in the heart to see
Fast 9?
No. I don't know, Fight Club and 35 millimeter in a fucking drive-in movie theater.
Real Fight Club when
yeah.
it's playing, so it's like 3D.
Just kids duking it out on the playground
well,
and stuff.
the part that really pissed me off, and it's not even so much COVID related. They just started talking about how shitty people have become.
Right.
And I'm sitting there going, God, it fucking sucks, man. Like, they're like ripping shit out and they're breaking stuff and leaving shitty reviews, and they have to teach people how drive-ins work. And I'm just like sitting there going, I'm an old man.
Are you talking about like the girl who's like the trade? Which is reading
that
a
was
comment
funny.
about the train?
She goes,
Okay.
yeah, the train goes by like at like 9:45 every night. Can you like work with the intermission to?
She's like, I guess I'm going to call the train company
but see,
tomorrow.
And here's the thing: when I was going to the Mission drive-in, there was train tracks right there. I remember trains going by. It never bothered me. Like, I don't know.
Because
the
we
ADD
live,
generation.
we live in an entitled generation
Suck
where
the train's
everything
dick already.
everything
Choo-choo,
has to be
motherfucker.
perfect. You know, it's like it's my experience. Everything has to be perfect, and that's where the guy was saying. He's like, he goes, the last couple years have just been irate people,
It's
and he's
so
like, and I
annoying.
have to kick all these people out. He goes, it used to be people just showed up, watched the movie, and everybody left, and
They're
was
yelling at
good.
15-year-old kids.
Yeah.
It's just I don't
That's because the
understand
world is
anymore.
angry.
It
The
is.
world's
And
angry.
it's depressed.
Social
You know how
media
much
has
I
fucked
would've
everything up, man.
Killed to go see a movie in that one in Maine that was all foggy,
Dude.
And if like you put like an old horror movie up there in the
That's
fog, I would have been like,
Said it 5
put the
times.
fog
more.
on there.
Yeah, they were
Make it a
playing
theme
something
night.
else, and I was like,
It was like Hotel Transylvania, and I'm like, this is the dumbest thing to do.
But that's
that's-
what the guy said that.
Yeah.
He was like, if we put Jaws up here, he goes, it'd be perfect.
Put the fog on there, and it would have been like the most immersive fucking situation I would have ever been in. I would have talked about that till the day I died.
Right.
That was my favorite movie experience.
if I could like sell my house and buy that, it would be exclusively just to play fucking horror movies.
Yeah,
in that
because you see the
fog.
woods and the fog and shit.
Dude, and
I'm
some
like,
of those drive-ins looked incredible. Like they'd had the skyline behind them. Oh, I did want to call this movie fucking drone footage of the movie because
Well,
it
you
was
know.
so much drone footage.
well, you gotta
But,
really see the empty lots.
Yeah, you gotta
when it would
see everything.
when it would pull back and it would show like the skyline, like to the back of the fucking drive-in, I was like almost like creamed my pants.
It was
loved that.
gorgeous. Like some of these
Shit.
are in cool spots, and I'm like, I miss the old days. Like, and
So
it
much.
sucks. And
I
it's
hate
like that's
time.
the Make America Great Again. To
Yeah,
me. It's
that's
like
how I feel
that
when people
old
say
feeling.
that. Like, yeah, that's exactly how I feel. So,
Yeah.
what'd you give it?
I would say it's a 3. I mean, it's a fun watch. I mean, it's not the greatest documentary. Obviously, you watched the best one.
I did.
I've seen
Mine-
better documentaries. It did start off a little slow to me. Like it was like,
Yeah, I
okay,
didn't.
I really
give a
want this to
fuck
ramp
about
up.
that guy grilling burgers.
Right.
I
so
was like,
well, I got to start. Everyone's going to show up here in 5 hours. I'm like, where are you putting these fucking burgers? I was more concerned about like, are
It's
you
all
just
the
gonna
people at
stick
the
them in a-
concert, the country and western concert.
I was looking at my phone like, you motherfucker.
Yeah, like he
motherfucker.
kind of bothered me. The guy who was doing, I don't know, like the one that discovered his sign had the upside down S. I think he was a little pretentious, kind of an asshole. Everybody else seemed very down to earth, like really like into it. They grew up doing it. They wanted to do it. They were really into it. Like the lady that was sitting in the chair the whole time, she was talking about how much she loved being in it. Finding out later that like some of these people sold them. And
I know.
they couldn't really do it anymore. Kind of bummed me out.
The one guy I did not understand. Like he was so like, I don't remember which one it was, but he's like, I started here when I was 19 and worked my whole life.
And then it's like, he sold it the next day. He sold it in 2020 and lives in Boca Raton. Like, oh, shit.
But a lot of these drive-ins are in small town rural.
Well,
but what
and
I'm
the thing
saying
is
is
they
like,
were
why
selling-
would he sell it? Did he do this documentary and then thought to himself like, oh, maybe I should sell
Dude, I
this?
felt so bad. They're like, like right after we visited this one, like they showed it and it was like buried under 12 feet of water. I'm like, oh, that's
Everybody's pushing small town rural.
I honestly, like, if I could move out to somewhere back to like Kansas where I used to live and
Fucking
open a
go,
drive-in
Jordan.
theater,
Fucking go.
I could do this
can get
digital.
you on
Fucking
a-
cry about
I
it.
I could do this
Put you on a
from-
plane tomorrow. You
I know you could.
One-way ticket.
One-way ticket.
to Pittsburgh, Kansas.
Take
You
your brother
I have
with
to
you.
fly into Kansas City and drive south for 2 hours. No, thank you.
The old Pittsburgh.
But it's a
with
3.
a G.
It is. With
What'd you give
gorillas.
it?
What's up?
I'm probably about the same. I think it's a 3. I think it's better than it was watchable. I think what
It was very watchable.
I think it was a little long,
Dude.
for the
felt
documentary.
like there was a long part in the middle where I'm like,
But I really wanted to see more of what they just gave a snippet of at the end, where they started talking to the people, and asking them about
Dude, when
their
they-
experiences with drive-in.
that guy, when they were talking to the guy at the Mission Drive-In, when he was talking about, I've been coming here since I was a kid. I
And then
love
they
this
tell me
place.
he's selling it.
And then they're like, you did know that they sold it, right? And it's going to be like fucking commercial properties.
Dude, it looked like he got punched right in the fucking
I
nuts.
felt the same way. I'm sitting there going, damn it. You're right. Because I remembered they closed it down. I even went to their website today, and it's like, after 65 plus years, we're closed. I'm like,
what? You didn't want to know more about Baby Brooklyn? I was like, what the fuck are we doing here? I'm going to go a little bit higher, 3.5, because it's about movies, and I'll
I
fucking
know,
give
and
anything
that's why I
movies
like
a higher score, and I could have my kid watch this later in life and be like, this is how it used to be, and like point to these things, although I'll probably haven't watched the other documentary. No, it didn't take anything away. Like I like I said, I had an emotional connection with the first one. I would have probably felt the same way that I feel now about this one. But the first one is
I
a
will
5
be
out of
watching
5.
yours. Like
Okay,
I
good.
do like the idea that they focus on just one,
Yeah.
and because I liked it how we got to see different parts of the country,
Yeah.
how they did their stuff, and you watching the movies in the woods or this or that. So it was neat to see that. I think focusing on just one and just really getting the ins and outs and how things work. I do think that sounds really cool. And had I known about that, maybe I would have been more skewed to watch something a little older. But I saw that.
It was
and I
2016.
Was like, 17. Yeah, something around there.
Well, they probably came out in 2017,
Right,
but they
right.
do the 2016 season. So who knows if they're even still in business? I didn't look it up. If they are, I'm
going to go find out.
Yeah.
Because that would be fun. Like,
Yeah.
I love that kind of stuff. Like, I would kill to watch movies in Maine or something. You know what
Fly
I mean?
over there, get an Uber.
Because
I'd be like, hey, I need you to stay.
Because my yeah, right. My drive-in theater experience was Southern California and here. Like I want to be out in the woods. I want to be out in the country. Like
Can't concentrate.
when you think Americana, that's how I
Yeah,
feel
same.
about it.
Same. All right, Scott. So next week is going to be your pick for documentary month, and then we're just going to go back to normal movies because I didn't think of a theme. Maybe
I
I'll
think we'll
of,
theme every other one.
That's
So like,
fine.
let's just watch what we want to watch, and then
We'll come up with something.
We'll come up with like
it's good to break it up every once in a
favorite
while.
porn movies. Or
we
something.
did. We did just our. We've been doing it since fucking December, so I just figured it was about that time. All right, so what? White girl, fucking
Hot Girl Summer.
No, I'm not kidding you. He's about to pick a movie, and it's all it is. When I think of like white women and true crime, this is what I think of.
Dude,
Go ahead.
so
okay, I'm excited.
I had talked about something last week,
right?
And I kind
It's
of
not Rumspringa?
So
No, thank God.
Aaron's was kind of Americana.
Mhm.
Yours was Americana. I kind of thought maybe this one would almost fall into the same thing.
We're going south of the border.
So,
It's like documentary horror
So
style.
I changed it up, man, and I'm going to go with a crime documentary.
Okay.
It's an HBO crime documentary.
Ooh.
And the only thing, and I knew nothing about this until it started popping up on social media.
Okay.
This is the year that the documentary that who this person is based on, she's going to be getting out of prison. And
It's not Eileen Warnes.
no. So this is the story of Dee Dee Blanchard and her daughter Gypsy Rose.
Oh, Gypsy Rose Lee.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard.
Oh, okay.
And the mother basically gaslighted this daughter, made her think that she was terminally ill her whole life.
Oh, yeah, I've seen the movie based off that.
It's called The Act. Well, there's
yes.
like a mini-series called
yeah.
The Act. So this is the 2017 HBO documentary, Mommy Dead and Dearest.
Looking at the open ocean now, and it's beautiful.
Gypsy was in a wheelchair. She had leukemia, and she was having seizures, and she had to be tube fed.
And then gradually that story fell apart.
Things are not always as they appear.
How do you kill your own mother?
This is a tragic event surrounded by mystery and public deception.
People thought of us as the sweetest mother-daughter, best people in the world.
Everything I've been kind of reading, and I'm trying to hold back because
Make sure you get your frappuccino ready. And
because I didn't want to know a ton about this until I watch this documentary. But I am fucking in. I am fucking.
he already knows everything about it, by the way.
No, so this woman,
You order all the
this
books on
woman
Amazon.
talks her daughter, basically talks her into thinking she's terminally ill. She has her go through her surgeries. She has her go through all this bullshit with the doctors. She gaslights these doctors into giving her medications and doing these surgeries. She takes money from like all these organizations, from like the Cancer Society, Habitat for Humanity, dude. She just it's a wild fucking story.
So-
and
She's
I
gonna
have to
tell
know
us the
more
whole
about
story.
it.
Well, and I
before
think
the
there's a syndrome for that where like the person, it's called Munchausen's by proxy.
By proxy,
so it's like,
yes.
you know, I get the sympathy because
See,
my
Eminem.
daughter is sick, so like you can do all that.
Yes.
It's the what?
It's the same shirt you wore yesterday. I know, I derailed. This is what happens when I don't have the TV on.
Squirrel.
Squirrel.
But yeah, I think it sounds super fucking crazy, and I'm into it.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, it's people rave about this documentary, saying
How long is the
how great
documentary?
it is. It's
7
only like
hours.
about an hour and a half.
It's like 4
7 hours
hours
all in Hungarian.
I don't know.
It's Americana.
I'm selling that movie.
Hour and 22 minutes.
Oh, there you go. That's
Yeah.
good. When yours was an hour and 45 minutes, I was cursing your name. All right, so there you
felt
go.
every
So, Mommy Deadly Dearest is what we're watching.
Deadly
Mommy
Friend.
Dead and Dearest.
Mommy Dead and
Please
Dearest.
remember that because you're gonna watch like Deadly Friend with the fucking chick turns into a robot.
Watch
You'll
it
be like,
later,
wait, that was a
pod.
weird one.
Watch later,
Look at
pod.
this shit. She fucking dresses her up, dude. And she's like almost 20 in that fucking picture, man.
Jesus Christ, she looks like she's 10.
That's weird. All right,
You're like, I can't wait to watch this.
we will be back next week. I am going to the New Bev next week. I'm going to see a horror movie marathon where 4 movies are going to be played, and I'm not going to know what they are until
Yeah,
I
but
see
you,
them.
You know what's gonna be great though?
What? I
Between
won't be able
now-
to talk about it.
Well, between now and the next show, we're all going to a concert together.
Blink
Shenanigans will happen.
I'm sure because I
watching
have
the seat chart.
2 tickets next to each other and 1 ticket not
We
next to
gotta,
them.
we gotta find somebody to
So,
move.
I doubt we'll be able to,
It's
but
like,
we'll
got
try.
any singles in here? Stop hitting on us, you fucking patriarch.
You old man.
You bastard.
Yeah. So
Feelings
that we are
bastard.
going to Blink 182 on Wednesday, and then I am flying
Flash is
out.
coming out, so we might try to go.
When is that?
Thursday.
Are you serious?
Flash is this week.
Oh, I'm fucking stoked.
So we'll go see that Thursday
Dude,
night.
I am so excited for the Flash.
Yeah, we'll go see it.
I am excited, Scott.
I know.
Will you please go with us?
Maybe.
No, go with us. Flash is my second favorite comic book character.
Yeah, because we have to go Thursday night because we are going to record Friday because you're going to be gone,
I'll be gone.
jerking off and
then it's
New
Father's
Bev.
Day on Sunday.
Yes.
So we could record Sunday, but I doubt you would want to try that.
No.
Yeah. So, well, I'm just saying. Then we could talk
No,
about
I have to be home
everything.
for the day that I don't get.
Right.
What, Father's Day?
Yes.
And then the next weekend, I'm
Non-existent.
going back to the New Bev to see Thin Red Line and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So.
Can you please on Father's Day just take like the can of your dad and just go and take pictures at like places like you're on a like,
Going down the slide?
Like
Hold
he's
on,
like,
hold on.
like a Father's Day brunch.
What's
like
even
it's him
funnier?
and like
can
fucking,
of my dad?
or-
No. I just have a box.
Put him in a
Just
put him in a Folgers can.
That's what I'm saying. Like, just go take him like at different places. Like, you know, like put him at the
Just
other
a
side
Ziploc
of the
bag.
other side of the table, and you guys are like sharing a frappuccino on Father's Day. Dude, please
Fucking
do all
Ziploc
that.
All right.
bag.
I'll try.
I need pictures of everything.
I got you.
I don't have my dad's ashes, so I don't get to have this fun.
All right, I'll talk to Kim.
Okay. Can I take my dad out for lunch?
Oh, you guys can't come.
Well, she's
Parker,
gotta take the
stay
pictures.
here.
Orange mocha frappuccinos.
That's not a real thing, and it pisses me off.
No, they made it special when that movie came out, and
And
it was
never
very
came.
limited, and it's never come back. I've had it once,
Well, fuck them.
and it was delicious.
All right.
Now I want to pour gasoline all over it.
As always, go to iTunes and rate us 1 through 5. Follow us along at Watch Later Pod on Instagram.
Holy shit. I didn't have to correct you.
Watch Later Pod on Facebook, but whatever, it's
Clock
Facebook.
Yeah,
right
fuck
twice a
Facebook.
day.
And
man.
yeah, just get ready.
And since you never do it, thanks for everybody who's coming over from It's Eric Nagel.
Oh yeah, I do it
appreciate
every
you guys.
time.
You have never once mentioned his show.
I try not to say it out loud just in case he doesn't want to be associated with us.
He thinks it's hilarious. He wants to be associated.
We're
working
just
on
super
shit.
racist.
So
I
racist.
just want to make
Dude,
sure.
you made a black joke last night.
I
so
know.
we're
I,
fine.
God.
So yes, no. Thanks for coming over.
Yes.
You know,
If you're from It's Eric Nagel, thank you very, 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 very much. I mean, I don't think we would still be doing this if
we would. They're just the numbers were
Yeah.
way lower.
But
I
they're
mean-
a lot higher now that you guys are here, and
Yeah,
we
we
really
appreciate
appreciate it.
And you get to waste an hour a week with us.
Plus,
Yeah.
it's movies, man.
Yeah.
Maybe
Talk movies, talk snacks.
talk about just random
Marvel
shit.
Snap.
Marvel
I
Snap.
fucking love Marvel Snap. Anybody want to start a Marvel Snap podcast? Hit me up.
Just us playing. It's a silence.
Hey man,
Fuck you, asshole.
I got Spider-Man on turn 5. All right.
That'll be great.
All right, we'll see you guys next week. I'm Aaron.
I'm Jordan.
And Scott.
Big gulps, huh? Well, see you later.